Dentist spending a lot on Google ads or paid online ads, but not getting the result you expect? Well, this might be why. Okay, we hear this all the time. We are spending on Google ads. We are advertising on social media. That would be Facebook, Instagram, even TikTok. Might even be on Yelp. Pay per click. You are doing PPC, pay per click. You are paying for these ads. You're paying for people to click on them. But it's not giving you the result you hope or that you want, and boy, it's expensive. Well, let's talk about what are some of the common reasons that you might not be getting the traction you expect. Okay, I'm gonna be real frank with you. First thing is you are lacking assets. Now, I'm not saying you don't have a car and you don't have a house, you don't have a building. That's not the kind of asset I'm talking about. Asset in digital marketing would be before and after photos, testimonials. These would be the kind of photos that represent your in-office practice culture represented by your Google Business Directory or on your Facebook page or on your Instagram page. These are assets. So let's say I'm a patient and I click and I come find you and I go, oh, okay, good. Let me look you up. What are your reviews? How many reviews do you have in comparison to competitive offerings around you, right? So if I search dentist near me and I go looking around, do you have a lot of reviews compared to your competitive offerings? Or do you have relatively fewer or low number compared to some of your competitive offerings? What's your review rating? And this one, how frequently are you adding reviews? And we're going to talk lots about that one in a separate tip. But yes, how frequently you add reviews actually impacts where you appear when people search for dentist near me. So these are assets. They are photos, not just of the outside of your building and what it looks like inside an empty op, an empty reception, but what does it look like when the team's there and what does it look like with patients in there? These are assets. Okay, what about before and after photos? Fine, you might not be a cosmetic dentist. Fine, you might not be doing full arch cases. But what about somebody who had whitening? What about somebody who had a chipped tooth? What about somebody who did need some cosmetic work and you want more cosmetic work? These are the assets that need to be present if I'm going to look at you and consider a procedure which, for me is probably going to be pretty expensive. I don't care if it's $800, $8,000, or $28,000. It's probably going to be a lot of money for me as a patient. I am going to be kind of choosy. And in being choosy, the only way I can evaluate you is, what are your assets? Do you have some testimonials from patients that say, hey, these guys are pretty good. This is amazing. This is the most painless dentistry I've ever had. These guys are so caring and compassionate. The entire team is amazing. If you are spending money on paid ads, such as Google, Facebook, Instagram, Yelp, on and on and on. Well, if you don't have those assets, you are spending money to get people to go there, and then you are losing them when they arrive. Now let's talk about the second point. You might have unreal expectancies. And what do I mean by that? Well, I'm doing Google ads and spending on it every single month, but I'm just not seeing the result. Okay. One of my next questions would be, how much are you spending? Well, I'm spending at least $1,000, and I should be getting 40 new patients. Nope. Those would be unreal expectancies. Now, I'm not going to go into all the specifics. For your area, you might be different if you're in the middle of Idaho compared to a very competitive area such as Miami. And we can take a look and see what area you're in, what are your offerings, what should that budget be. We can talk about that. But I'm going to tell you this, you are going to have to spend probably more than you think in order to get the kind of impressions and clicks and traction of people actually calling you. Each one of those are what's called a conversion. I see your ad, that's an impression. I click on it, that's a conversion. I've converted from seeing it to clicking on it. Now I'm going to engage. I'm either going to call you or I'm going to fill out a form. That's another conversion. If you want those conversions, you got to get a lot of impressions and a lot of clicks to get me to reach out to you. So the bottom line is you're going to have to spend if you're going to actively go after this channel. And to do so, you're going to throw more than $500 or $1,000 at it, but those specifics we can cover more specifically later. I am going to take up the third thing you need to consider. This is a common mistake. You've got ads they're being run. You've got the assets in place. You've got nice photos of the inside of the office, the team, before and after. You got some testimonials. You got great reviews and a lot of them. All right. Now we're spending. We've got an adequate budget for the area that we're in based off of competition. But now you're going to get these people calling and reaching out. Do you have processes in place to handle these? Do you have a person or a team in place that's really good and they know what to do and they know what to say? This would include, but not be limited to, your receptionist. That would include and not be limited to your new patient coordinator. This right now might just be the person who answers the phone, whoever that might be. And that set of processes is insufficient when you're spending this kind of money. And I think you'd agree with me. If you're going to spend this kind of money and make that commitment, you should have some skill on the other side to receive that traffic. Now, all of these 3 points we cover extensively at the New Patient Workshop. So I encourage you, if you have more questions, find out more about that and come to that. But I think if you take a look at these 3 things right now, you can do a little quick audit of your practice and say, okay, good. Do I have sufficient assets? If not, I should probably get some before and after photos, maybe film a couple testimonials, etc. Am I spending enough from a budget perspective? And do I have a team and a process in place to receive those calls, reaches, etc., so that we can deal with them? Good, so those are the 3 things. I hope this helps. Again, if you're still a little bit like, where do I go on this? I don't know exactly what to do. Well, reach out to one of our specialists. We'll do a little bit of an analysis, and you might be interested in coming to the New Patient Workshop where we cover this over 2 different days extensively to give lots of answers to these questions and cover them thoroughly. Thanks for watching. Go ahead and hit that subscribe and make sure you enable all notifications if you want more great tips like this, and we'll see you on the next one.